Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Top Chef Vegas.
We're back!
It's Vegas, baby!
Last week Jen went home. I just gotta say thank God. Alright, so it's time for the Quickfire, and
Guest
Todd
judge.
English is there. And
Deja
a craps
vu.
table.
For real, craps table on a cooking show?
It's just like Hell's
I feel
Kitchen
like I
this
just
week.
saw that.
You did. So each chef takes a turn rolling the dice, and how many ingredients are you gonna have to use? That's how many come up on the dice.
Could you rephrase that any better?
No.
Okay, whatever number you roll with the dice is the number of ingredients that you have to use.
Okay.
No more, no less.
And salt, pepper, and oil are freebies, so don't worry about that. So somebody's gonna win $15,000.
It's a high stakes.
It is.
Quickfire.
Laureen got the lowest number. She rolled 3.
I think the highest number was like 10.
Yeah, most of the people got like 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about the bottom first.
All right, Jessie. Her scallops were not seared enough. She grabbed the wrong type of pan.
Yeah.
And she couldn't add butter to it to add a little color.
There was no color.
No, because
kinda
that would have
good.
added another ingredient.
Yeah. Eve, her blue cheese was overpowering.
Yeah.
But I really do want blue cheese now, so thank you, Eve.
Yeah, me too, but it's not always a good choice, I'm finding out on these shows.
But I love blue cheese!
Me too. Bryan, he made a black cod and he cooked it sous vide and it was too rare. Not cooked enough for Todd English.
Alright, so let's talk about the top dishes now.
Well, I don't remember what Michael made, but it was definitely a classic. I think it was some kind of gazpacho.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Jennifer, hers was very delicate.
Whatever it sure was great.
Kevin, his was cooked perfectly. That Yukon Cornelius really knows how to
his
cook.
stuff.
He sure do.
Alright, so Michael ended up winning the $15,000 and immunity for this week.
Alright, let's leave that behind and go right to the Elimination Challenge. It's the Bachelorette Party theme.
Ah!
It's so Vegas.
Yes, and it's Battle of the Sexes.
Men
Obviously.
versus the women.
Yeah.
Okay, the women are cooking for the men, and the men are cooking for the women.
Yeah.
So, Karen and Greg show up with
Bryan and
shots.
groom.
Yeah.
There's 3 different shots.
A Moscow Mule, a Tequila, and a Golden Delicious. They all look delicious. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but if they can make a non-alcoholic version of that, that would be pretty cool.
Anyway, they had 10 minutes to meet up with the bride and groom and see what they like.
We find out Karen is a pescatarian, which I think means that she doesn't eat meat, but she'll eat fish. Right. And Greg, he loves his lean meats, but I think he's also got a sweet tooth.
He does. So each team has had 30 minutes and $800 to shop.
Is it just me, or is there a disproportionate amount of gay people on this season? There's a lot of gay people on this season.
Well, Ashley was pissed.
Yeah, most
about
of the gay people were pissed.
Yeah, but
because
especially Ashley. She didn't like it.
how could they make me do a challenge like this when gay people can't even get married legally?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a show. Do you want to win? Cook the food. All right, so the judges this week, poolside, are Gail, Tom, Todd English, and Padma, of course, because she's the hostess.
So the chefs had 1 hour to set everything up poolside.
Right. So, yeah, after the service, the men were kind of unprofessional and jumped in the pool.
That's
and the
really
ladies were like,
unprofessional.
that's so unprofessional.
And some of the men, too. They didn't all jump in.
Right. I don't know if they complained, though. But it seemed like the men made kind of like frou-frou contrived food for the ladies.
Which works. And the women made more like comfort type, little messy food for the men.
Like
which
ribs
worked.
and, I mean, that's what they should have done. But I kind of remember the women saying, like, oh, the men just don't get women. They don't want food like that.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I do. So the men's team wins.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about the top 4 on the men's team.
All right. Well, Michael made an apple sorbet and goat cheese cookie.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Hector, he made a tofu ceviche, and he made it taste good. And that's really difficult because tofu is kind of hard to work with because it's pretty bland.
I don't like tofu.
I like tofu, but you got to really work with it. Eli, Thai tuna tartare. He had the ginger in there, and it was a great match for the ginger in the shot.
Yeah, because you also had to make sure that your dish worked with one of the shots.
Right. Let's see. Bryan, sweet and sour macaroon with guacamole? I'm thinking like, macaroon, but then when you add the guacamole, how's that going to work?
It looked good.
Apparently, it was whimsical and delicious because
Magic.
Bryan won.
Pure magic.
So Bryan won. So he's got immunity, I guess, or something next time.
Well, obviously the women lost.
Yeah,
if you
the
haven't
men
figured
won,
that
the
out
women
yet.
lost. So up first, Ashley. She was pretty ambitious, and she ended up doing 2 dishes instead of 1.
Yeah, her
But she
first
should
dish
have
was
done
good.
1.
She could have just stuck with that and been fine.
Yeah, the watermelon ceviche was good. The panna cotta was not because it was not set.
Ew.
Yeah, and I think it had kind of a bitter taste too, said Padma.
Yes.
Preeti, she made an ahi, and she cured it overnight, which was not cool.
I mean, overcured.
Overcured, yeah. And her shiso leaves were wilting in the sun, and it's not very appetizing to eat wilted leaves.
And it was actually difficult, they said, too.
Yeah.
Because it was all like, bleh.
Yeah. Eve, she made some kind of popcorn shrimp thing with actual popcorn. Popcorn shrimp sounds pretty good, but then shrimp with popcorn.
Go Eve!
She managed to mess up the shrimp again. She didn't cook it right, so it tasted all fishy. And
There's
she
just
had
too much going on.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Jessie, she made a lettuce cup, and she was touting that it had ginger in it, and she thought she put too much, but then she was like, well, I didn't actually put any real ginger in, just ginger beer.
It was so confusing.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't understand. She thought she put too much, but then she didn't want to put too much. But there really wasn't very much at all.
Whatevs.
So, Eve is asked to pack her knives and go.
Oh, I liked her spirit. She seemed like a kind person.
She seemed like a train wreck, though. So, next time, they're going to prepare a meal for some Air Force dudes. It's going to be pretty cool. Off we go into the college. All right, so till next week, much love.